Have you ever witnessed a moment so quiet, yet it thundered in your heart? Recently, the internet was taken by storm by a real-life story that unfolded in a small restaurant in New York. It wasn't the flashing lights or the echoes of fans that caused a stir, but rather the sight of two calm figures sitting together in a silence that spoke volumes. One wore a smile that felt familiar, and the other had tattoos that were unmistakable. Could it have been them? Jimin and Jungkook? Today, we'll take you through the story of that night. A story that, in its silence, said more than 1,000 words. Not long ago, social media buzzed with the testimony of a restaurant-goer in New York who experienced a moment both surprising and captivating. Alongside their partner, they had been enjoying a cozy dinner in a warmly lit restaurant. After finishing their meal, they decided to take some photos of the place, admiring its beauty. But as they were taking pictures, their attention was drawn to two people sitting not far away. One of them looked strikingly like Jimin. Quietly, the woman asked her partner if he noticed the resemblance too. The partner began filming discreetly, but she quickly stopped him. In that moment, the man who resembled Jimin turned and gave them a warm smile, enough to make them realize this wasn't a moment to intrude upon. They decided to leave quietly and respectfully. Back home, they reviewed the photos and videos they had taken. Their suspicion was confirmed, not just from the face, but from the most specific of details: tattoos. One had a tattoo identical to Jimin's, and the others matched Jungkook's. The two sat together peacefully, seemingly enjoying an intimate evening. At one point, they even posed for a photo together. A simple gesture, yet full of meaning. No spotlights, no crew, no publicity. Just the two of them, like any ordinary couple sharing a night. What's more surprising is that theirs wasn't the only testimony. Another witness claimed to have seen them too. A friend nearby had spotted them from a distance. Although they didn't approach, they noticed something small but meaningful. The two appeared to be holding a camera, perhaps capturing a personal moment. And the most striking detail, Jungkook placed his hand around Jimin's waist. It wasn't staged, it looked natural. Like two people who truly knew and felt at ease with one another. To many armies, the closeness between Jungkook and Jimin isn't new. But what set this apart was the way they expressed that closeness. Naturally, without fear, as if there was nothing to hide. That calm and confident presence can only emerge from a bond built on trust and mutual respect. Moments like these reveal their private selves, beyond the stage, beyond the cameras. No official statements, no confessions, but their actions speak louder than words. In the way they laughed, exchanged glances, and shared space without explanation, it all pointed to a deep, genuine connection. There was another heartwarming moment captured during a live show after their military service. In that broadcast, they were sitting together, eating and laughing with fans. But one subtle scene drew attention. Jimin used a tissue to wipe his mouth and placed it on the table. Jungkook stared at the tissue for a while, even though there were many others around. He didn't take it, but it was clear he noticed it. This reminded many fans of a past moment, when Jimin cried and wiped his tears with a tissue, and Jungkook quietly kept it. These small gestures, seemingly insignificant but full of meaning, are their silent language. They know how to care for one another without needing to speak. In every laugh, every glance, every casual touch lies something deeper. Some might call it all coincidence. But for those who've followed Jimin and Jungkook from the beginning, it's clear that their relationship is more than just professional. They've shared stages, interviews, travels, and even silences that only the two of them truly understand. While skeptics might argue that every interaction is just company scripted, reality doesn't always align with that. Moments like that night in New York, no cameras, no crew, no orders, are undeniable proof that something real has grown and been nurtured behind the scenes. They once filmed Are You Sure? In New York back in 2023. Back then, yes, there were cameras and a schedule. But there were also off hours when they walked freely, dined, laughed, without direction or filming. Those moments showed that their bond wasn't a work obligation. It was a choice. A choice to stay close, support each other, and be each other's safe place. It's hard to fake something for years, especially when no one's watching. Their gazes, their natural closeness, their unspoken understanding are powerful proof of something special. Not a script, not a strategy, but a real emotion. Unfortunately, there are still those who refuse to acknowledge what's right in front of them. They demand proof or formal declarations. But love, in its purest form, doesn't always need validation. It lives in the little things. In laughter, in glances caught on camera, in silences that feel like home. The story of Jimin and Jungkook doesn't need to be explained. It speaks for itself, in the way they lean toward one another, the way they protect one another, and in the choices they keep making to stay together. They're not acting. They're living in authenticity, in the freedom to love their own way, in silence, in laughter, and in quiet nights like the one they shared in New York. And maybe that's the most beautiful part. Their love doesn't need a grand declaration, because everything they do already says it all. A few days after the story went viral, fans began piecing together the details. Some identified the restaurant using image search tools, while others compared the outfits worn in the photo with clothing seen in old posts from the restaurant staff. The results only strengthened the suspicion. It really was them. No one ever outright named them, but the small symbols spoke louder. A bracelet Jungkook wore, for instance, matched the one Jimin once gave him during an old live stream. The conversation shifted, from mere curiosity to heartfelt emotion. Many armies admitted to being moved, seeing how the two could live as their true selves, even under the pressure of fame and public scrutiny. Some fans posted in forums, saying that moments like these gave them hope, that love could endure, even in a world that often frowns on emotional honesty. That closeness doesn't always need an announcement, but can be felt if it's genuine. And just like that night in New York, sometimes magic doesn't appear under bright lights, but in warm glows, quiet laughter, and a smile understood by only two hearts. Hearts that keep choosing each other again and again, without hesitation. And perhaps, in a world so full of attention and noise, true love lives in the gentlest of shadows. No spotlight, no stage needed. Jimin and Jungkook show us that a strong relationship isn't measured by how often you appear together, but by how you protect each other. Behind the scenes, amid the chaos, and in silences only the two of you understand. So, to those who see beyond simple fan service, that night in New York is a quiet reminder, true love doesn't always need to be announced. Sometimes, it only needs to be felt. Thank you for watching Jikook Moment, and see you in the next story, which might just be even more surprising.